is a pivotal week, as we know, for Health Secretary Robert F. Kennedy Jr.'s Make America Healthy Again, or MAHA movement, especially when it comes to what they call medical freedom, the right to perhaps opt out of vaccinations. A CDC advisory panel handpicked by Kennedy is going to hold a meeting that could lead to some pretty big changes in vaccine recommendations. At the same time, the CDC director Kennedy fired last month, Dr. Susan Minares, will testify on Capitol Hill that RFK Jr. is impacting vaccine standards, is undercutting those standards. And there's more to the MAHA movement than just vaccines. Supporters, in fact, say their mission is actually to end chronic disease and get the toxins out of our food supply. There are thousands of self-described MAHA moms across the country who say they are not anti-vaccine, but they want the right to choose what's best for their own children, for their families. And we're joined by a couple of MAHA moms right here in the diner, Felicia Milelli and Melanie Dragone. Thanks for being here. We appreciate it. What's the misconception about what you are all about? Is it wrong to say we just want to know that we can choose which vaccines our kids are given?
That's absolutely correct. We're all about choice. We want the ability to decide what goes into our bodies and our children's bodies. As a mom of four and a health coach and a passionate advocate for over 2 decades, I know that I am capable of making the decision for my child with my provider and with my doctor with informed consent. And that's what we stand for.
And Melanie, let me just drill down on that a little bit, because obviously as moms, we do believe that we know best for our kids. But what about the herd immunity argument, which is that unless you have high buy-in from everyone, you don't get the immunity? And I'm thinking about the measles epidemic and the measles outbreak recently. Texas saw a recent outbreak. So if it drops, I mean, the stats show that if herd immunity drops below something like 95 or 94%, then it endangers other people's kids or exposes them to possible measles. So what's your argument against that?
Well, it's really important to understand that an outbreak, especially here in New Jersey, is considered one or more cases. So, it could be one case that they're considering an outbreak. So we really need to drill down and really understand, how many cases it really is. And then, our argument the other way is if your child is vaccinated, then they should be protected. The herd immunity situation is not necessarily something that we are concerned about. We don't feel as if our children are putting other children at risk. Our job is to maintain and obtain optimal health for our children and hope that others are doing the same.
Felicia, I think the concern that Allison's trying to express is like states like Florida, where there won't be access to vaccines moving forward. Are you concerned about the health of some of these other kids who don't necessarily have a choice as we move forward?
Are we sure that there's not going to be access or they're not going to be mandated?
Well, it would appear that there's going to be a real difficult access problem in the state of Florida.
Because
would that
mandated.
concern you?
Yeah.
It absolutely doesn't concern me. I think as Melanie mentioned, when you're educated and you can make the decisions, you can choose for yourself and decide with your doctor if that's a course you want to take. And there's plenty of other options and places to get vaccines if you need them.
But you are engaged. You are talking with your doctor. You are highly educated.
Yes.
Many are not any of those things. Does that concern you? People that don't have great access to their doctor, that don't have
Well, absolutely, it
education,
concerns me, and I'm hoping that with the support of an administration that is ran by Secretary Kennedy, that those answers will be addressed.
What else are you concerned about, or what else do you advocate for as MAHA moms when it comes to your family's health?
Clean water, clean air, food that isn't full of toxins and food dyes and things that will impact our children's health.
But when you talk about clean water and clean air, we've
Yep.
seen the Trump administration doing away at the EPA with some of the regulations that would oversee making sure that our air is as clean as possible or the water is as clean as possible. Is that of concern?
It is of concern.
Yeah.
But we work actually grassroots here in the state of New Jersey. We work with the legislators and pitch them, what we would call like MAHA bills. And we've been able to really push some legislators to put legislation out that would improve the air here in New Jersey, take food dyes out of the school lunches, make those safer, take soda out as an option for SNAP programs. So we're concentrating here more in New Jersey than on the federal level.
Felicia,
really-
what do you think about how RFK Jr. has done so far? Obviously, there's been some controversial moments and hearings where he's seemed to have gotten triggered. The lawmakers have gotten triggered. It seemed like there was a lot of sort of heated words exchanged. Are you happy with everything he's doing?
I am. I am happy with everything he's doing. I think there's a lot of people in the MAHA movement which would hope that he would be moving faster, but we know he's up against industry capture and the political spectrum as it is, as evident today in what he's facing. So I think he's doing a remarkable job. He's looking through his agencies and removing any any members that are working against him and his objective. So I think he's doing what he can to, get his agenda moving.
We have to wrap, but one last question, Melanie, is
Yeah.
there's been a concern. We've had many doctors on the program who have said they're removing a lot of scientists and they're weaponizing public health.
Okay.
How concerned are you about that? Firing CDC scientists?
Not concerned at all, because in the research that I've done, those scientists have conflicts of interest. A lot of those people that were asked to leave the ACIP, they had vaccine connections, pharmaceutical connections. They were implementing or, checking,
Being funded by
vaccine manufacturers, had been a part of, the research of vaccines. So then approving them means that they get money. So whatever Bobby's doing, I 100% support, because I know that he's done the research.
informed consent. We need that.
Melanie and Felicia, we thank you for coming into the diner to be here. Lots to talk about. We could talk forever, but
Yes.
we'll have you back.
Thank you. We
Thank
love
you.
that. Thank you for having
Thanks for
us.
having us.
Appreciate it.